My last video was on augury or bird divination. This time we are going to talk about ravens and crows. They serve as bridges between worlds, messengers from the divine, and powerful spirit animals that have been working side by side with humans for millennia. Understanding their symbolic associations, the signs they send, and their connection to deities deepens our relationship with them. Scientists refer to them as corvids, and the genus Corvus has about 50 species found around the world. These birds are very social and incredibly smart. Like humans, they often collaborate together, and as we will see, collaborate with us as well. Today, we will talk about their symbolism, tips to communicate with ravens and crows, and how they serve as messengers. Hi, I'm Amy, an eclectic pagan and green witch. I'm a retired science teacher and environmental educator, and have spent years doing wildlife rehabilitation. So, yes, you can say I love animals and am very connected with their communication. Check out my resources on the webpage. If you've ever felt like a crow or raven was watching you a little too intently, you're not alone. These birds may intentionally cross our paths with purpose. When a raven or crow communicates, it's often about heightened awareness. They may be urging you to notice what's happening or to be prepared for transformation. How do we know when ravens or crows are trying to communicate with us rather than simply going about their daily bird business? A bird following you, calling incessantly, or landing very close could be sending a message. Are you listening? When corvids act outside their normal patterns, it often signals spiritual significance. A single crow following you on your walk, ravens appearing in unusual numbers, or corvids vocalizing more intensely than typical can all indicate attempts at communication. Trust your instincts. If an encounter feels meaningful, it likely is. Seeing a raven or crow more than once in a short period, especially in unusual places, can be a sign that you should pay attention. When the same corvid or group appears repeatedly in your life, especially in significant locations, this persistence usually indicates an important message. Use guided meditations or shamanic journeying techniques to connect with the corvid spirits. These practices can reveal personal meanings and messages specific to your personal path. Ravens and crows appearing in dreams often signal change, insight, or the need to pay attention to your intuition. Dream corvids might deliver prophecy, reveal hidden knowledge, or guide you through personal transformation. The messages themselves vary widely, but often relate to themes of change, hidden knowledge, protection, or calls to embrace your authentic power. Some people receive special guidance about life decisions, while others find corvids appearing during times when they need to pay attention to their own intuition or examine what they have been avoiding. Perhaps the most famous corvid deity relationship belongs to Odin, the Allfather. His two ravens, translated as thought and memory, fly across the 9 worlds each day, gathering information and returning to whisper their discoveries in his ears. For modern pagans working with Norse deities, ravens often represent the pursuit of wisdom, the importance of memory and learning from the past, and the value of seeing situations from multiple perspectives. The Celtic tradition, the Morrigan, a triple goddess of war, fate, and death, appears as both woman and crow. She represents sovereignty, prophecy, and fierce protection. Encounters with crows or ravens might signal the Morrigan's presence, particularly during times requiring courage, truth, or protection of loved ones. In Greek mythology, Apollo kept ravens as messengers and symbols of prophecy. However, their feathers turned from white to black as punishment for delivering unwelcome but truthful news, a reminder that truth telling isn't always appreciated but remains necessary. In a poem by Ovid, Apollo sent a white crow or raven to watch over his lover Coronis. The raven returned to Apollo with news of her infidelity. Enraged, Apollo cursed the bird, turning its feathers black and giving it a harsh caw. Thus, the black crow became a symbol of bad news, betrayal, and possibly a reminder of Apollo's wrath. Many Native American traditions honor crow and raven as cultural heroes, creators, and trickster figures. They bring fire, light, and knowledge to humanity, often through cleverness rather than force. They represent the power of intelligence, adaptability, and finding unconventional solutions to problems. In Tlingit culture, the raven holds immense cultural and historical importance. Raven is seen as the creator of the world and the bringer of daylight, having stolen the sun to illuminate the world. In many traditions, these birds are psychopomps, guides that help souls transition between the world of the living and the realm of the dead. This role makes them particularly meaningful for modern pagans who work with ancestor spirits or do shadow work. They can signify the shadow side of life, not in a negative sense, but as a reminder to embrace the cycles of death, rebirth, and change. They have both positive and negative symbolism, as you can see here. Ted Andrews, in his classic work on animal totems, his book Animals Speak, which I have linked in the description, mentions that corvids are common animals found all over the globe. They remind us that magic is everywhere. When you encounter a crow or raven, just tune into its behavior and it will give you a clue on how to use the magic powers that it carries. Have you ever seen crows ganging up on a much bigger bird? This behavior makes the crow a useful animal totem to call when you need support in dealing with adversary. If the crow chose you, then you are encouraged to develop your personal power and speak your truth more loudly. One way to get closer to your corvid spirit guide is to build an altar for them. If you are wondering what bird you are seeing, in North America, the American crow is common and widespread. They are smaller and the beak is slightly less pronounced. The common raven is found in western North America, as well as widespread throughout Eurasia. In the US, ravens are found in more rural areas, especially in the Rockies and somewhat in the Appalachian Mountains. Both species are omnivores, and they prey on mice, rabbits, frogs, and other animals, as well as eat seeds, nuts, and berries. If you leave offerings outdoors, make sure they are appropriate. Foods like unsalted nuts or sunflowers or berries. Avoid bread, which lacks nutritional value and leads to a disease called angel wing. Consistent offerings in the same location can establish ongoing relationships with local corvids. To attract crows, consider planting native trees, shrubs, and flowers that offer food sources and nesting sites. Some good choices include mulberry trees, service berries, dogwoods, oaks, elderberries, and sunflowers. Or you can pretend to be a scarecrow. This fledgling northwestern crow fell or was knocked out of a tree after a red-tailed hawk killed another crow. He was rehabilitated and let go when he was ready. Crows and ravens often show up during periods of upheaval. If you are changing jobs, moving, ending a relationship, or embarking on spiritual work, they may be guiding you through the liminal space, that in-between phase where the old is gone but the new is not yet fully formed. I hope this video has been helpful, and I invite you to watch this next video. Thanks for watching, and have a very witchy day.